Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the WEL. I am, of course, Maddante, and joining me is the very lovely.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say my name.
No. They
You
always
also
get to
pointed the wrong way.
I didn't point anywhere.
You pointed it that way.
I just said joining us.
Oh, we love harmony between our two casters. My name is KWing, bringing you the action for the Welsh Esports League in the penultimate week of Welsh Esports League number 5, our Overwatch tournament. We've got some great matches, and I am so excited for it. We're going to be bringing you first the Puffins versus the Pit Ponies, and, well, I mean, you have to be scared if you're the Pit Ponies. Going up against the Puffins is a tough task for any team, and as you can see downstairs, we've got a single elimination bracket. We have got 4 teams, 1 finals, and only 2 tickets to get there, so we've got quite the fight in for us.
No, we absolutely do, and we have been seeing quite a bit of these teams, of course, playing very recently. The guys are getting ready, so we should just be joining them in just a moment. As far as I know, the map's picks and bans have already been completed, but we'll keep them just a little bit more of a kind of surprise. Why the hell not? From what we've seen from the teams previously, I mean, as KWing you so rightfully said, I mean, it's very scary going against the Ponies. The Ponies have been just quite on a tear, to be honest, it must be said. The Puffins have been doing a decent job of trying to keep up with them, but I feel like if you're going to kind of give anyone for a wee shoehorn in, it might be the Ponies, I would say, but, you know, there is obviously plenty of room for upsets. There is plenty of room for a lot of dynamic switcheroos and changes, particularly ever since we have had a few patches and a few different kind of lineups and buffs and nerfs and changes to just entire roles and stuff. So we will just have to see how the teams have adapted. And ladies and gentlemen, we are jumping into the Oasis.
Jumping onto Oasis for our first map. It's surprising for me, but you've got two very different compositions. You have the Pit Ponies playing this Diva composition with your Cassidy Reaper with your normal sort of rush style support line, with the Puffins making switches at the last minute, showing a Winston, but I think we might still be seeing the Wrecking Ball, but it looks like a Winston to roll out of the spawn doors as we open on the semifinals.
Here we go. We do see the Symmetra teleport just use Unisco, then jumping off all the way onto the Tracer just to get that launch back into the fight. Of course, the elevator now being where the first team fight is going to go down. The control very much to the side of the Pit Ponies at the minute, that height advantage, but the trap is actually incredibly good stuff for now. Just a bit of poking, just a bit of chip damage, nothing major committed just yet.
Great stuff out of the Pit Ponies, finding Wantom early, just finding them a bit deep in enemy lines and collapsing right on top of them, especially with this Reaper. The Reaper's now gone.
Incredible stuff, and the space being taken, not quite been grabbed yet. Trying to defensive Rick's the trap, or the Junkrat trap. You know what? Absolutely understandable for you, FML. Going to be dropped down, doesn't want to get snagged into that again. Want him diving through in the back, but not really getting the back up here that he's maybe looking for. He does seem to be kept up and kept well healed, so no concerns just yet. And now a final pick. There we go. First pick on for the Pit Ponies.
Yeah, Pit Ponies now have an opportunity with that Immortality Field out and gone. They also have the window if they are so inclined, but I think they've got the advantage enough that they're gonna really have a good time. False though going down, Kitsune Rush thrown in. The Puffins are using their ults earlier than even the Pit Ponies. And now there goes the Winston charging up so fast, so much damage from that Kitsune Rush. Is now the Pit Ponies still struggling. They do have this point ticking up. Wantom in trouble, uses the Primal Rage to get out and still in some danger. I mean, I'm a little concerned about this Winston pick into a Cassidy, into a Reaper, into a Diva. It's going to be a bad time.
No, typically we would say it. We have seen Wantom being able to kind of, you know, get in and out with these picks, but yeah, the comp as you're mentioning. Yeah, not that time. The comp as you're mentioning is absolutely going to be incredible. Beautiful shot from False there to put down Unisco, but it does actually seem that there has been a little bit of a C9, so, you know, while this is probably going to tick back over to the Ponies, the fact that the percent... Never mind, actually. It's looking a bit evened up, but I think we're going to be having the Ponies still keep control of this for now at least.
The Puffins are still holding on. They're keeping it going, and they're really well keeping one person on the point as Tom is going to go down. We really haven't had a solid regrouping from either of these teams thus far. They're both battling it out to the last man on point, as still the Puffins holding on as Lemon going to go down, as Keydog on this Kiriko just throwing out Kunai, throwing out those Ofrenda, and there you go. Diva Bomb thrown in over top, nothing over it, but Dominus in some trouble, gets stunned up by the Doomfist Punch. Gonna get taken out by Wontom in that center pit, and a big 2-punch from Wontom. Wontom finally clears off the point, and Pit Ponies finally retreating.
Yeah, that is so much time being burned down. It looks like we're going to be seeing the DMAC happen. Yeah, hopefully Aphamo just able to jump back into the spawn, swap out, and then swap. Yep, there we go. Swaps to the Winston. And stays the Winston. Interesting. Okay, was expecting just a remake on the Diva there, but absolutely solid work. 77% left for the Puffins. One more team fight. Actually, not too many ultimates other than the High Noon. The window is about to come online. Only the orbital strike from Wontom on the side of the meteor strike, I should say, gonna be popped. Doesn't find anything. Dominus is the first pick.
Yeah, Dominus finds that first pick. The Reaper been so terrifying. The window really zoning off the point, but a great assassination out of Wontom, evening it up. Just been a force to be reckoned with on this Doomfist. As now overtime starting to burn down. Wontom gonna get taken down. Jackie's beat just a bit too late for Tom. As now Orpheus in some trouble. Unisco with a successful dive, as the Pit Ponies and the Puffins both struggling to find definitive picks. As you would think the Pit Ponies would be lost without the Baptiste. They're finding their picks, but can they sustain it? Lemon gonna go down. No supports on the field for the Pit Ponies. Moira swap for Orpheus. You'd expect the Kiriko swap, but either way, gonna be back a bit quicker, but will it be fast enough? Just the Tracer on the point, taken out by Wontom. And a back and forth entire time.
Yeah,
is now a 1-0 for the Puffins.
At no point did that team fight really end. At no point was there a consistent end to that. There was two C9s, basically allowing the Pit Ponies to take the initial control, and then the Puffins to swing it back. The Puffles, and yeah, that was kind of it. So, I mean, in terms of what we've seen, I mean, it was very solid from the Puffins. I mean, the control was absolutely great, but there probably could be a bit more of a cohesive dive there. There was just quite a bit of essentially 5 different sets of 1v1s happening there, maybe rather than a bit more of a coordinated push. So you maybe want to be seeing that a bit more from both teams.
Yeah, the coordination was very surprising, especially out of the Pit Ponies, who have been so scary this entire time. As now Wontom on the Wrecking Ball, rolling around at the speed of sound, was able to escape. This is again one of those picks from the tank from Tom that you're surprised about, because there's 3 full ways to stop you in your tracks, and there's one of them is the Mag Grenade gonna stop the slam right in the air, but False is gonna get taken down, traded out for Unisco. That's the 1v1s again. Dominus in some trouble, drops down. There goes the slam, and Wontom in a lot of trouble, has to just burn the shields. Their team picking up and is going to end up with the win. A really great performance out of Meta 1, 80% to ult already, and Tom.
Oh, slightly unfortunate, just a little bit overzealous there. Very solid movement, very solid aggression onto the Ponies, just a little bit overzealous. But now, to be fair, the ults are going to start coming online. Meta 1 likely, possibly not going to get too much from the Reptire, but we will have to wait and see. The pings are coming through. Never mind, shut my mouth. Both supports are down. One of them's going to pick up False as well. That's going to be the rest of the Puffins now falling, and yeah, incredible stuff. Unless. Have I lied?
I don't think it's happening. It's just the one tank, and yeah, and FML is gonna just have to get out of there, and that's all she wrote.
That was good start. That was good. That was good kunais from K-Dog. That was absolutely beautiful shots. And now we have the Minefield online. We've got Kitsune Rush online, the Junker Queen's Wrath, and actually basically Ponies are basically close to kind of getting all of these ultimates in one stack. The economy here is going to be super relevant. 50% halfway done. Kitsune Rush comes down. Maywall shuts down, but not for very long. The Mindfall comes down. Counter Kitsune Rush. Dominus with the first pick on. The Axe comes through. No continuous frags just yet. We're seeing Wonton trying to get the value. The Death Blossom comes through. Doesn't find anyone. Jackie's able to be good for one for Pulse. The freeze. The Ice Bubble is absolutely pivotal as the entire team fall together. Beautifully played from the Puffins.
Beautifully played from the Puffins, but I'm looking at that ult economy. That was everything but the kitchen sink there out of the Puffins. And the Pit Ponies, they use the Reaper ult and they use the window, but the window is basically a free ultimate, and their game-changing ultimates, their beat, their rampage are still online, and they're gonna need it if they get this reverse sweep here. 90%, there's definitely gonna be overtime for the Puffins, or maybe not as they just walk onto the point.
Yeah, I mean, Unisco had to burn the ice block pretty early. That's really your best stall mechanic there, is to rely on your main. If you don't have that, then yeah, you have to give the percentage up a little bit early. So big value for the Bonies there to not quite get it. The teleport is going to come up from Dominus, doesn't find anything yet, and no, here we go. We see Wonton fall again. The trap actually for Meta 1 though up in the background. Here we are again. The split team fights as Meta picks up another one. False has to land these shots to be able to be in with a chance. The sound barrier doesn't work, but Meta 1 picks up a third. There's so many supports are down. False is on like 5 HP. Barely lives the Riptire. Again, we've seen this work out so many times before. It's probably going to work out again. Never mind. Dominus is so clutch with that.
So incredibly clutch, but this is the point here, is that the Puffins composition thrives on this chaos. It thrives on taking these individual 1v1s because they can do that. The Mei can do that. The Mei is self-sufficient. The Junkrat's very self-sufficient. The Kiriko's self-sufficient. The Lucio's self-sufficient. These are all strong, independent women and Hamster and Junkrat and Lucio, and they're all able to take these individual 1v1s and come out on top versus the Pit Ponies composition. And that's why we're seeing the Puffins coming out on top for map 1, is that every single hero there has an ability where they can say, I am great. Like, I can take this 1v1 and probably win it. I think the most vulnerable to a 1v1 is Lucio on that composition, and that's saying something. Every single player there wants the 1v1s, and sometimes, like their Wonton, they just come in and take on the whole team. They just 1v1 everyone. So surrendering to the chaos is not what you want to see out of the Pit Ponies.
No, exactly. And there were times where we definitely seen that Wonton had gotten a little bit overzealous, had tried to take a little bit too much space, you know, and there was some punishment there, but the control just seemed to be quite dominant from them. So King of the Hill will be going quite convincingly to the Puffins, I must say. So that will be leading us on to, I believe, the next we have is Hybrid. So we will be seeing how the teams and such do their picks and bans. They will obviously be working that through, and then we will be joining them. But I mean, we've seen Oasis for King of the Hill, so in terms of the map choices that actually we may see, there's really no guaranteed consistently as to what we're going to see next. At least I wouldn't bet anything on a surefire map for round 2.
I mean, I think if you were a betting man, I would say I would probably put my money on King's Row. I think that if you're the Pit Ponies, I think if you want to keep dancing at the Pit Pony Club, you've got to not let the chaos reign. You have to start playing. You have to start playing together. Yep. And the easiest way to do that is to play a composition that just thrives, that implicitly just thrives on playing as a little tight little ball of death and moving around killing everyone. So I'm talking Lucio, I'm talking the Baptiste, I'm talking any kind of brawl-ish comp, like your Ramatra, your even like a May Cassidy, Baptiste, Lucio, just playing that composition and trying to not let these 1v1s happen and not let the Puffins run the show, because so far they have been the ringmaster. They've been pulling all the strings.
Yeah, no, and I'd give a shout out to the Ponies as well, but the Puffins very much have been, you know, that's a hell of a commanding start from them. So we have just got word as well. It's actually going to be Midtown coming through. So again, quite a surprising pick. To go Oasis then Midtown is not something you typically see. As you were saying, KWing, you know, if you want to play the map that has been in Overwatch for 8 years, the map that has had no changes, the map that is super comfortable to any people playing for any length of time, really. If you've played Overwatch, you've played King's Row. But yeah, the Puffins seem pretty confident in this pick, and we're seeing like the Lifeweaver, we're seeing the Sombra, we're seeing the Bastion, so there's quite a comp here from the attacking side Puffins.
I mean, that comp could change. They could be baiting us. I think the Lifeweaver is a bait. I was wrong.
I hope it's not.
The Zenyatta might have been a bait. I think it's a bait. Either way, the Pit Ponies out here, not doing the map I thought, but doing a bit of the composition I expected. Playing this Baptiste Lucio composition, and playing a comp that's going to try and stick together.
Yep.
That's really going to play together and not let Wantom separate them and pick them off 1v1 as Meta taking a bit of an outside route. It looks like the Lifeweaver is a realistic composite. Oh, are they they're jumping over
wave
here.
Dash. Oh, the
No
wave dash
way.
rocket jump from oh that was
Nasty.
awesome. That was awesome.
That was kind of nasty. Kind of nasty out of the Puffins. That's going to get them a solid tick. Barely going to get them not the second, as they're just a few percentage points away as Meta won. This combination of the Lifeweaver and the Bastion reminding me of old school Bastion, just sitting in one place and not moving much, but just shooting out the damage like it's nothing.
There we go. Less than a minute comes through. The first point's already going to be down, and here we go. The payload does slide out now. So yeah, I mean, if you've got something, and this is what I love seeing. Like, no one takes Lifeweaver seriously until someone forces you to take Lifeweaver seriously, and the Ponies have absolutely been forced to take Lifeweaver seriously. Incredibly solid performance, incredibly efficient execute. That's the type of execute where the minute you do that once and you fail, you've given the game away. You've given your game plan away. But whenever you've done it that well, as we've seen what happens, 5 minutes on the clock, the payload's already moving.
Wantom in a bit of trouble out in no man's land. A massive EMP comes in, but Tom can't follow up on it. And Unisko's going to be the first to fall. A tragedy out of the Puffins, as that ult just used at such an inopportune time. Oh, Blizzard out. Baptiste trapped in front of the Tree of Life, as there goes a massive artillery barrage. Immortality field drawn out, and it allows the Puffins to push back through, but a massive ult investment out of the Puffins, dropping 3 ults compared to the Pit Ponies, only dropping the Blizzard and the Window. And the Puffins, they use basically all of their game winners.
To be fair, what I have liked about the Puffins doing that is they are very much, they do seem to be playing the time that they're given incredibly efficiently. Like, they have kitchen synced this, absolutely, but they've got 4 minutes, you know, like, if you just want to get the payload a decent distance and then play around reforming the rest of your ultimates. I mean, we see the Window now go through, and Wantom drops the mines as well. It's enough to check out Orpheus, and already that's a massive investment for the side of the Puffins. It seems, oh, Wantom barely able to get out there, but this payload's still moving, and the Ponies not really able to commit to anything, just because, I mean, look, there's 3 of them all trapped out there. They've lost their Baptiste already. Wantom, how do you walk away from this? Surely you don't.
Wantom gets away. Wantom always finds a way, as now the Pit Ponies stuck between a rock and a hard place, but they have just found their pickaxes, and they have dug right through multiple picks, one after the other. Incredible stop there. And now switching on to the Ana for Orpheus is a very interesting choice.
I really like the Ana. I really like, I mean, if you're going to have the Bastion kind of 1v1, now Meta 1 has swapped off of the kind of attacking side Bastion, but if you're going to have any sort of damage like that, absolutely throw the nano boost on the Bastion, get that DPS just increased by such a substantial amount. The control right now from the side of the Ponies is very solid. The space taken has been quite incredible. This is a very difficult corner to be taken out, particularly if you're going to be losing Wantom in that sort of style. So now that's going to be 10 seconds at the very least. Meta 1's good for 1, but I mean, again, you've lost 2. These trades are not going to be working out for the side of the Puffins. If you're the Ponies, you're happy enough with these trades, absolutely, with the spawn advantage.
You can 100% take these trades for the Ponies. You have your spawn advantage, like you said. But also, you have this ult advantage, you have your Deadeye, you have your beat. You're not scared of much. As long as Lemon can avoid this EMP and get the beat out, you've got a very solid play in hands, and Unisco's already gone. But you lose Orpheus.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's a massive pick from Wantum. They really needed that. I mean, 70% on the nano burst. That's pretty quick. And Wantum's able to pick up another. How does Wantum keep getting away with this? Oh my days, as Affable just falls, and that's just going to be it, actually. The payload's just fallen far, or just been pushed far enough that that's going to be it. And while, yeah, it was a difficult corner, again, the Puffins actually just off the back of Wantum. I mean, look, whenever you see him move like that, you can tell that is a confident Wrecking Ball. And playing against a confident Wrecking Ball, you've got Orpheus on the sleep dart. In theory, you know, Wantum shouldn't be able to pose that much of a threat, but if you've already taken out Orpheus, which we'd seen Wantum do, then yeah, there's nothing else can be done.
And there you go. What a pick out of Wantum. It seems like everything is set up to deny Wantum. The accretion, the mag grenade, the manual hack, the sleep dart. So-called free thinkers, when they see a Wrecking Ball, is what Pit Ponies are doing right now, and they still can't deny Wantum.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we are seeing honestly quite a masterclass of Wrecking Ball here, as you said. The entire comp is designed. I mean, there's the hack and everything, but here we do know that we see the Illari come through. The Supernova Metal 1 with a beautiful kill again. Orpheus down, no sleep dart anymore. The Sigma, the Graviton, well, but no. Key Dog's going to snipe my Unisco, picks up False, and finally that's the last one to fall for Dominus. There's going to be the spawns advantage here. Doesn't commit 3 players to the payload, so the payload's not going to go in quite as fast. I actually think that could have been the difference. Actually, I think this round would have already been over had we committed 3 to the payload. Likely isn't going to make a difference with all of these frags coming through, but spawn advantage can always make a difference.
Still, that spawn advantage, no way Tom gets out of this. Tom does not get out of it. I thought for a second that we might have had a Tom escape, but now for the Puffins, you don't have a lot of ults, but you've got the time as Tom switching onto the Sigma. Interesting compositional swap. I feel like, why fix what isn't broken? But you're coming up onto your window, you're coming up onto your Pulse Bomb. 2 big ultimates, but big ones coming up for Pit Ponies. You've got the EMP 20% away. You've got the Nano online. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Nano go onto the Sombra, but we see the Nano Tracer instead.
And False immediately making good work of it. Drops down Jackie. The Sigma's going to get collapsed onto the hack, and everything's coming through. The counter hack. It's actually going to be Affable, the one that falls down. That's really surprising. It seemed like Ponies were the ones with the more advantage, but when you've got Meta kind of dancing around like that, Key Dog's able to pick up Dominus as well. They're missing their tank. 50 seconds remaining. The teams can absolutely regroup in time. Ponies, Affable's going to have to get this remake, and he's going to have to get it now. He thankfully does. The Pulse Bomb goes down, doesn't find anything. And Unisco picks up Lemon. The trades are good. The massive EMP comes through. The D-Mech again. The Immortal Field has to drop down. As the numbers advantage, they do fall towards the sides of the Puffins. It looks like it's going to be pretty close, but the Supernova should be the deal sealer as Lemon falls and the payload is pushed. False can't do much more.
No, False can't do that much more, and really impressive out of the Puffins. I mean, just one Tom the entire time. For a Wrecking Ball to go against a Sigma, a Cassidy, a Sombra, and an Ana, there's very little more that the Puffins could, that the Pit Ponies, could do to deny the Wrecking Ball. Yep. Like, there aren't hero bans in Overwatch, but if there were, that is basically just saying we are banning Wrecking Ball. Yep. You cannot play him. But somehow, not only did Tom play the Wrecking Ball, but played it incredibly successfully. There were so many tools to shut them down. The accretion, the hack, the magnetic grenade stun. Like, just everything there was primed to deny Tom, and yet he was not denied. What an incredible play.
Yeah, no, I mean, seriously, I'm sure Wantum's probably got the shadow play or got something in the background there. I'm sure we'll probably be seeing a couple clips on Twitter, because that was absolutely phenomenally done from him. I mean, there are very few words to kind of, it's hard to overstate how incredible it is to get any sort of value from ball when you have an entire team composition built around shutting you down and you still manage to walk away with it. So now we're going to have to see how the Puffins, how the Ponies do their attack here. As oh my days, it's almost looking terrible immediately.
Whoa, Jackie gets taken down early. Venture in the backline, really jumping in, very aggressive out of Unisco. Gonna charge up 35, but just what is happening?
Yeah, what
is happening right now?
A very aggressive defensive option. Meta one actually hiding in the background there and then gets pulled out by the Lifeweaver. But yeah, Keydog falls. Aphamo picks up the frags. I mean, yeah, I don't really know what the Puffins were expecting, to be honest.
I think they're doing a little bit of trolling. I think they do a little bit of silly as a treat.
That's fair. Yeah, I can see that. So we do see just a little bit of this coming by. Yeah, Wonton just going to get absolutely melted down. There is a little bit, actually, this decline is still going. Actually, Met is able to pick up Orpheus. There is no way you bring this back, surely. Dominus is able to get the Diva Bomb. It's just going to be thrown up in the air by all the space in the world. But still, you've got Jackie dancing around there. Finally goes down. The Wagon Ball, though, now Wantum's back up. Every time it seems like we should be over and done with. There's one more person to get it. The Defense Phoenix is going to be enough.
Oh.
Dominus drops down, and the payload actually just gets picked up there with, I think, a little teeny bit of a C9. Heartbreak.
Nah. Not a C9. It's fine. The Puffins, they weren't there in full force. Not really. This is my boomer moment coming out of like a C9. It has to be winnable. It can't just be one person not touching the point. Like, it's got to be winnable. I know this is
anyway,
Old Woman Yells at Cloud. I know it's Old Woman Yells at Cloud, but these youngsters are redefining what it means to C9, and Unisco is redefining what it means to absolutely pop off there with 2.5 picks, taking out the mech and taking out balls. How incredible there! That was one ult, just cleaned up the bank.
Yeah, that's. I mean, we've seen obviously quite a lot of, in terms of like the highest kind of caliber. We've actually been seeing Pharah pop out quite a lot in terms of pick rate, and then the Venture has almost kind of become a counter pick to the Pharah, where I will play Venture better than you play Pharah. Of course, the Ponies don't have the any kind of Pharah right now, but the point does still kind of stand that if you've got a player as confident as Unisco, and I would definitely say one of the most confident players in this entire roster, aside for Wonton, but there's confidence and then there's cockiness, and I think that we fell more along the sides of cockiness. But yeah, incredible good stuff from Unisco. 3.5 minutes left though, plenty of time for the Ponies to still capitalize.
Definitely a lot of time there. Jackie gonna go down, and there goes EMP to catch Wonton, but gets cleansed and is just gone. Dominus down, and ooh, still gonna get a bit of feed going there for Wonton. As there goes the Kitsune Rush, and this Venture of Unisco is gonna be deadly going on. But Jackie gets taken down, and Unisco just can't get the damage going fast enough to really seal the deal, and the Pit Ponies keep moving.
Very nicely done. Quite a surprising use of the Kitsune Rush there. I mean, to be fair, there was the backup from Unisco and Jackie, so it did make a little bit of sense. Metal 1 goes down just before the sound barrier hits, and Wonton's actually, here we go, sitting there, denying this payload movement as much as humanly possible, is going to get hacked. Trying to survive off of the health packs. Actually does look like... Yeah, Wonton just survives every opportunity, no matter how much he probably shouldn't. And I really do like that Wonton has just slowly killed, like, this payload should have gotten probably a decent bit more distance than it has, but Wonton has been fervently denying.
Beat and Coalescence out from Pit Ponies. They are going to push this through with pure force, as Wonton just denying payload progress the entire time. This payload should be in point B by now, and it's still stuck going through the street space. It's devastating as the Diva Bomb gets thrown in. FML in some trouble, stays alive with the remake. Unisco hacked. Minefield thrown in over top, and Wonton escapes out as normal. Unisco with the ultimate. Who knows where they are? Looking around, can you find Unisco? There they are. They've already got one kill. And there they go. Yeah, Sombra's gone, looking for the Moira now. The Moira smart, avoids it. The Lucio, not so much. That's 2 picks off of the Venture again. Still staying alive, just denying the value. False, though, gonna pick up 2 on this Tracer, pushing through. But Unisco takes out False and still stays alive. Actually, False gonna take out Unisco as well. So it's just the Wrecking Ball, the 1v3. As there goes the Kiriko, there goes the Tracer. The spawn advantage might be helpful there. But oh no! KeyDog with the Ajax! With the Ajax of the Kitsune Rush, throws it out and gets killed before the cast goes through. Taken down, Jackie taken down. And finally, Pit Ponies will push through, but it is way slower than you would have expected out of them, considering how many of these fights they have won hand over fist.
Yeah, I mean, again, quite a lot of resources as well have been expended. I mean, you do mention, you know, KeyDog, obviously they're getting killed during the cast of the Kitsune Rush there. Afamil actually just going to give up the Diva Bomb, decides that, you know what, not enough value is being gotten from the Diva at this point now, so we'll swap over Wanton. Meanwhile, has jumped over to the Zarya. And this aggressive kind of play, just, we will consistently fight you on your payload, because even if you win the fight, you're not going to get the distance. Wanton tanks the Pulse Bomb. So surprising to walk away from it again, but the team have been done such an incredible job at keeping Wantum alive. The full charge is there, and Zarya can still absolutely melt. The control is all there. This payload's really struggling to get around that corner. The melting, the ice wall, so pivotal. Actually saves Meta 1 actually unfortunately saving the enemy from Wantum's wrath as they all fall, and now a little bit more distance is being covered.
Yeah, a bit more distance, and they still maintain the beat. The Coalescence as well, charging up already. So Pit Ponies, they have an opportunity, but Puffins charging up quickly to the Kitsune Rush again, to the Tectonic Shock from Unisco. Looking for something big out of these 2 ultimates for the Puffins. Early beat, aggressive for the Pit Ponies, as there goes the response. The Kitsune Rush thrown in about halfway through the beat. Smart out of the Puffins as Lemon gonna get taken down, and there goes the Tectonic Shock. Pulse Bomb gonna take out Unisco, but not before they take out 2. They've got their 2. Orphe's gonna go down. It's Trades, but Trades are gonna favor the defense as the Puffins hold on.
Oh yeah, no, I think that's more accurately titled as the False Bomb after that. Very close to being so pivotal, but instead it's going to be the Ponies that kind of deal it. And now a lot of utility has been used by the Ponies there. They don't really have much. They've got the Nemesis mode, which is a fine ultimate to have, but, you know, maybe looking for something a bit more impactful. So it's really going to have to depend how Afamil is played around, as well as how Afamil plays themselves and how they play this Nemesis mode. So Meta 1 as well with the Blizzard is, you know, that's so pivotal to basically just get everyone off the point, and it's 10 seconds. The overtime is basically going to start. Nemesis hasn't been popped just yet. Unisco is able to find one already. There it goes. It's now been popped. The sound barrier though from Puffins is so pivotal, as it looks like the Ponies are going to fall at this last hurdle.
Yeah, and it was
so
a perfect beat, textbook out of the Puffins, clearing off the point, clearing off the Pit Ponies, taking map 2. Incredible play from the Puffins, and I mean just wow out of the Puffins, because Unisco on this venture, pulling this out in a way we haven't seen, just trapping them in this hallway, already picks up the double, moves on to the remaking Diva, and takes out the Tracer as well. It's incredible play out of these teams that has really already set the Puffins apart.
I mean, yeah, like, Venture's not new, I would say, anymore, but they're definitely not, you know, like, people definitely are not comfortable playing with them just yet, is probably the best way to say it. So to see Unisco very comfortable in playing Venture and very comfortable playing it at that capacity is absolutely incredible stuff. We will probably be seeing quite a bit more of Venture, just as people do get a bit more comfortable with them and kind of find out where they slot into in some of these team comps. But that is now 2-0 for the Puffins. Very, very well fought from the Ponies. It's been very tight. That was especially close. There was back and forth, every team fighting things. I think purely what won the Puffins, that was every time the Ponies seemed like they'd won a team fight, they were never able to just commit to winning the team fight. There's always one member of the Puffins standing on the payload going, why yes, I understand you would like to push this payload, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and that really did give them many more fights, especially through Tom. I feel like we've been singing Tom's praises the entire time, but it is incredibly well deserved. This Wrecking Ball play, the ability to just Houdini himself out of situations he should have no business being alive for, it leaves you speechless for just how incredibly good at this character Tom is and how incredibly good at evading the enemy team. And it's what's given them the additional fights. It's what kept them in the game. The reason that Streets phase on Midtown for the Ponies attack took so long wasn't because you had so many fights being won by the Puffins. You just had no progress being gained off those one fights. It seemed like as soon as one fight was ended, maybe they finally killed Tom would just roll back in, 14 seconds later, and you'd be right back to it, and there's just nothing you can do about it at that point.
No, that's the thing. I think I'm building off of that. That's really the important thing was no team fight seemed to fully end, which was particularly on that Streets phase. Every time it seemed like it was about to, someone would jump back in to just reset it, someone would jump back in just to be an absolute nuisance to keep control of it. So we will be jumping in now, actually. I think we are going to be jumping into the last map. That will be the Shambali Monastery, so we will be jumping straight into the Escort, which that's a bit more of a standard pick. To be honest, I feel like a lot of the teams have been very comfortable with Shambali Monastery over the course of the WEL thus far, and we're going to see them be more comfortable on it again, because that is a very comfortable map for both teams. A very solidly put together map, I must say, with a lot of different options for your comps. We see quite a bit of Orisa Bastion coming out, which we're seeing from Unisco and Wantom. We do see, on the other hand, though, False with the Ashe. Bob absolutely gets quite a lot of good sightlines on this map, so completely understand why they're going for that. And yeah, 10 seconds left. Seems like the Ponies are pretty warmed up to get this defense started, but Puffins already 2 up. They take this and they take the game.
That they do. The Puffins only have 1 left, and I do guarantee that it is the Puffins that we got on the screen. As much as we don't have any of the team information, it is the Puffins over in the red, with the Ponies in the blue. Wantom and the rest of the Puffins firing on this high ground, looking for a little bit of pressure over to that left side, but Wantom gonna jump up, hitting the hardcore parkour, but has to just get going from those wheels getting thrown out by Dominus, but still pushes the payload past this corner, sees the Bastion, throws the spear, and just trying to deny Bastion this value has already done wonders for the Puffins as, whoa, up in the sky goes Dominus. And it's just a clay pigeon from Meta 1. Traded out for Unisco. Now a very odd rotation from the Pit Ponies is now Meta 1 thrown feet in the air. In a bit of trouble, charging up these ults incredibly quickly. And the Puffins, almost a bloodless coup.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, the space being controlled here is very solid. Wantom, again, doesn't surprise me at all to see them kind of do this Orisa play, but that's a beautiful window from Morpheus. That is going to give them all the space in the world, but Meta 1's got some very weird... Oh, no. No. Not like this. Oh, no, he's been spotted.
No.
He's been spotted, thankfully, but there's still going to be decent bit.
Can they do anything about it,
Clay
though? Can they do
pigeon
anything about it?
shot! But Meta 1 will be taken down. That was a lot closer for comfort than I think the Pit Ponies would have liked, but decently fun from Meta 1 there. Probably could have got away with the Riptire had they just had a bit more percentage, but I do like trying to get that payload pushed, and that's very much been how the Puffins have played. It's pushing the payload at all times or preventing you from pushing the payload at all times, and that very objective centric focus has been working incredibly well for them as the Riptire does now come out.
Riptire from Meta. Oh no! FML gets caught up in the Terra Surge and just taken down. Riptire finds 1, and now it's just the Puffin pushing through. Pit Ponies throw out the beat, but down 3 to 5. It's just gonna be a little bit of ult onto the pile. as it's just value denied and a great spear in the end for Wonton.
No, beautiful, and you've still got. I mean, you've got both support ults online. You've got the Sunburst, and you've got the Transcendence both online ready. So the Puffins can absolutely keep this push going. False, really, the only thing they've got is the Bob, and the Death Blossom is going to be coming online quite soon. But when you've got very strong healing ultimates as this, I mean, Jackie is going to be so pivotal on these Transcendences and this flank. Look at this. This is quite genius from them. It might be overconfident, but it's very genius if they can make it. Okay.
KWing! KWing with the triple with the captive sun doesn't need the DPS support hero, by the way.
Huh. Yeah, it's not often you see a team fight end just because your support pops. I'm surprised we've seen the Transcendence from Jackie, but maybe we did just have to have it with Unisco and Meta1 all the way in the background. But that's pretty big. The Dragon Blade is going to be online for the Puffins. I imagine we're going to be seeing Bob basically come down instantly. We do indeed. Wonton going to get absolutely collapsed upon, but False does fall. Doesn't really matter. These frags are absolutely coming through. Meta1's going to... No, okay, I thought he was going to try and do something again with the payload.
No, not doing anything with the payload. Just taking an absolute adventure on this side. One more fight left for the Puffins. They have the blade. They had the blade. Is Unisco going to get caught out way late? But Orpheus gets taken down by some random Meta1 fire. That's devastating. And they're going to push in off of that, as they absolutely should.
Yeah, it's pretty big. You lose your Moira, you give a bit more charge to Meta1, who is on that 90%. Orpheus actually loses quite a bit of charge, then picks up another one with the bear trap. Lemon, though, all of a sudden, that's a support character as well. Lucio is the most DPS that you can get, apparently. Meta1, good to pick up on damage. And here we go, the Dragon Blade now to try and capitalize. Never mind, will immediately fall. What is this? It's suddenly FML's just been keeping this going on his own. Wonton has to leave. And what an incredible hold from the Ponies that I really don't think they should have been able to get away with.
Oh, that reminds me of the old, like, hydration interview clip of, like, how do you properly use Genji's ult? You don't.
You don't.
As soon as you use Genji's ultimate, 6 players are going to look at you, they're going to press all of their abilities, you're going to get stunned, you're going to get slapped, you're going to get whip-shotted, and you're just not going to have a good time. Just don't play Genji. And it seems like Unisco has taken that into account and is not playing Genji anymore as the Riptide goes off without any kills in the feed.
Oh my days, now Aftermal trying to keep this going. Will be kept alive. Very solid heals from Orpheus here. Very incredible stuff from Dominus as well. Orpheus is going to be collapsed upon. The gravity well comes through. Doesn't actually tag anyone. That's pretty big. That's quite a big dodge as the sunbeams are going to just keep the rest of the Puffins up. Dominus going to be trying to break those down as much as possible, but the space hasn't been there even when it does seem like it's working out. Puffins are playing a very split kind of offense here with Meta and Unisco kind of doing their own things, and then Wonton, Jackie and KWing doing another, and it's making the Ponies split up, but it's not giving them enough space. This is where that's probably about to change.
Big hack onto KWing, but False and Orpheus both going to fall. And for the Pit Ponies, that means Puffins are just all through. It's nearly a team kill there for the Puffins as they take it through 2 minutes. Definitely an accomplishment for the Puffins as it looks like Wonton might be switching up.
Oh, I mean, if it's... He seems a bit... Okay, he seems a bit indecisive there. I mean, the Doomfist absolutely worked on Oasis, so would not be opposed to seeing that again, but I think maybe respecting the hack from Dominus and the flash from the Cassidy, maybe just a bit too much kind of control and stun for the Doomfist to get as much value as they maybe want. Unisco being immediately pushed out there, and look at this, what over-aggression, what over-aggressive push from the Puffins, losing 2 of their members, and 2 very pivotal members at that, and that's going to give the Ponies quite a lot of space to work with here. They're going to keep this push actually going. They're one more ultimate farmed off of the Puffins, and it looks like they're going to get it.
Early Kitsune rush out of Jackie just to gain back some space for the Puffins, but a great pullback, but False is going to get taken down. Jackie with a great kunai across the map has given the Puffins life. EMP over top lands on 3, and that's going to be a shutdown for the Puffins. Still holding on to those Riptide as well. Dominus barely stays alive. Now just waiting for this recontest. Riptide thrown in.
Oh!
Alright, you know what?
Can I say it?
You know what, sir? You can say it. I think you can say
it. We did it! We did it! Oh, that's
boomer has
heartbreaking.
said yes. The
That's
boomer has
heartbreaking.
given. This is my I played Overwatch in like 2017 stamp of approval. You can say that's a C9. Oh, that hurts. That hurts.
That's heartbreaking. That's absolutely heartbreaking. Yeah, just too much space given there at the end. I mean, it was a really solid idea. I really liked what we've seen from the Ponies just to kind of get that regroup back in the spawn. But yeah, giving up too much space. And again, this is, I think, where the Puffins' kind of very objective-centric style is beginning to show. And we'll probably see quite a lot of it in this defensive side from them, where the Ponies probably exactly what we've seen in Midtown. The Ponies will probably arguably be taking more of the fights that are winning more of the fights than they're losing, but if they're not winning them consistently and they're not winning them, you know, quite decisively, then the Puffins can just run down that timer.
And that's what they've been doing. They've been running down that timer the entire time, and meta's. Okay, the Puffins are. Oh no! They're not. Oh goodness, meta.
I can't wait.
Alright, let's see it. What do we got?
This looks quite set up.
Hello, Anna. Oh no, the wall up. Almost. Meta still gets the pick. Gonna get taken down by False, but there goes the charge in from Wonton. And it looks like Wonton not going to be the winner of that particular fight. But in the end, going to struggle a bit from the aerial barrage of the Pharah Echo of Pit Ponies. And now Wonton in trouble, taken down.
I mean, again, just kind of pointing out to the way the Puffins, like, obviously this has not went in their favor, but 50 seconds have passed, or 45 at the very least. Again, like, the timer's at least somewhat going down. And Meta 1 is even just sitting there, you know, not allowing himself to get stalled. Will just run in and take the pick onto Dominus. There is quite a lot now of the ult economy leaning towards the Pit Ponies, of course, but, well, actually, Dominus can't even use that anymore because the Pharah has been swapped off, so I mean, this is I think, a really solid way to show that, like, Puffins arguably just fed at the start, but the Ponies have already lost a minute, and they don't actually have that much of an ult differential.
No, they really don't. And now as the second fight roars to the start, a big anti-nade coming out from Keydog, gonna put some pressure on Pit Ponies. Lemon gonna go down, and now FML barely alive, just barely staying in it. Gonna get taken down from long range by Unisco. There goes the dive from Wonton. Jackie in some trouble. Meta coming from the heavens, throwing down the trap, saying, hello, Orpheus. Goodbye, Meta.
That was unfortunate. I really do like the way Meta is playing, which is kind of these like airstrikes, this kind of like airstrike style Junkrat, but it's not really working out. The nano is beautiful. That's such a cheeky combination to play the way they have. Wantum's able now just to do so much damage on that. Dominus trying to do something. The counter nano is absolutely pivotal. That is going to give the Ponies quite a bit of space. You do not want this supercharged Omnic barrel stuffing you with the Gatling gun. You will not survive to tell the tale, can absolutely assure you of that. And now there is some distance being created, but 1 minute 43 seconds. I'm pretty confident the Puffins basically already had the payload turning this corner by this stage, maybe slightly ahead. So again, if you're the Puffins just playing this objective-centric style, you're happy enough with how this went.
Early Blizzard out of Unisco, gonna freeze up the Bastion and take him down. Beat in too late. There goes the, massive, nasty out of Meta. Traps the rampaging Ramatra and just hits them with the Riptire as Tom?
No, that's
Tom.
That's
okay.
toxic.
Thank you, Tom. That's a little bit of BM, but you know what? I'm here for it.
That was
Jackie gone.
a disgusting solo ult. There was no need at all. There was no need at all, Wonton. There really wasn't. That Primal Rage could be quite useful, particularly now that False is coming in on that Echo. They're going to have the replication matrix online, ready, good to go. It's going to quite rely actually here on who Met is able to take out, because here we have it now. False is going to try that Wisdom 1v1. And get entirely melted. Never mind. I thought there was going to be a bit more of a Primal Rage possibility, but not really. Jackie's going to fall. Beautiful shooting from False. Orpheus picks up meta as well. Unisco, though, losing your Ramatra is pretty big. We just see Unisco just chasing down Orpheus. Good for another, but False. Beautiful sleep! And a beautiful follow-up from Keydog.
What a sleep. That stall might be absolutely what turns us around. Keydog, though, gonna go down. Lemon there. The Dominus gone. Nano onto the Lucio is an interesting choice as the payload moving out. It's just FML on the payload as the wick starts to burn. It's the chances, the hopes of the Pit Ponies. Oh, and elimination on the line as FML gonna get taken down. Dominus calling out the airstrike, but there's nothing there to do it with. It's a 3-0 for the Puffins, punching their ticket to the grand finals. They will be facing off against the winner of our next match. It's going to be exciting. They're going to be facing off against the winner of the Hounds versus the Pirates.
Oh, yeah.
Very exciting, as Keydog and the rest of the Puffins, incredible success. I mean, jeez, that's so crazy out of Keydog. What an incredible play.
I'm so glad we got to see that ultimate. I'm so glad to see what that looked like, and I do like the fact that we do see the Zenyatta, the trans popped as well. Not necessary in any way, in any shape, manner, or form, but you know what? We absolutely love to see the transcendence. So very nicely done. Commiserations to the Ponies. The Puffins did just have it, and I had faith in the Ponies, but no, the Puffins will be doing it. So, well, as KWing, you so rightly said, we will be taking just a short little break, and then when we will be back for the other semi-finals, and that will be the Wolfhounds versus the Pirates. Ladies and gentlemen, it'll only be about five or so minutes. Please do not go anywhere. We'll be back with you very, very shortly. Hello, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Welsh Esports League for Overwatch 2. I'm myself, Maddante, and joining me is the very lovely
KWing, and
There you
we're
go.
here with, I finally got it. We're here with the
got it.
second of the two semifinals today. We've already had an explosive start with the Puffins taking it over the Pit Ponies 3-0. And now we're bringing it to the other side of the bracket. We're bringing it to the Wolfhounds against Pirates Esports. Two teams that have done pretty well so far.
Both teams have been very confident. Most teams have been very confident. So for anyone that had missed it, the team name does escape me. I'm sure one of the lovely production will remind me of it. But we did actually, there wasn't a team initially kind of taking part in this that were basically kind of seeded to win. That basically a lot of teams had kind of believed, they were going to be the top pick for it. They ended up actually then conceding out of, thank you very much, there it is. So it was the artists. Initially that were going to be playing, and a lot of teams were very confident that the artists were going to win. It made up of quite a lot of talented players that, very much do kind of enter into the tier 3, tier 2 scene. But they ended up actually then just pulling out due to a bit of a schedule conflict. So now with that, we are seeing, I think, quite a lot more blood in the water, and a lot of the teams are suddenly a lot more invested into this, I think. And I feel that we're seeing that today.
Yeah, and for the Pirates versus the Wolfhounds here today, the Pirates have not won so far, and the Wolfhounds top out their division with 2-0, but they were quite close with the Wolfhounds. So Pirates looking for that first win, looking for that first map win, even playing this dive composition with Beast for Numbers on the Winston as we roll out to the semifinals.
Oh yes, and we do see quite similar here. I mean, both teams opting for the Winston tank. Quite a difference in terms of the rest of it, though. We see Simon on the Sombra versus Weather on the Ashe. We see the Junkrat instead. Actually, well, the Ashes are meeting up. It is the Junkrat versus the Sombra, and immediately Pizza Lover picking up both the Sombra and the Lucio. Incredible stuff. The damage absolutely key onto Beast for Numbers as well. Gonna pick him up as well, and drops cannon as well.
What?
Yeah, I was going to say as well a bunch more, but I feel like, yeah, you've all seen that. That was incredible. What the hell?
Pizza Lover just getting all the kills in the end. Not just with the ult a lot, but getting those picks and finishing off is incredibly important. We saw last match what can happen if you don't have these decisive fights, but the Wolfhounds are not in danger of that just now as one shots. 2 dings out of Weather with Mini Mythical to finish it off. Pizza Lover to take it there, and just, woof, the Wolfhounds absolutely howling.
Yeah, no, I mean, for anyone that did see the Wolfhounds play last week, I mean, Weather especially, I had been saying, and I will be using the line. I won't spoil exactly what the line is, but there was very much something, that Weather was doing, and that those shots that we've seen are not flukes. They are very consistent. Weather is a terrifying Ana. So back that up with suddenly's just very solid aggression, and you all of a sudden have someone that basically puts, someone to 30% HP, 20% HP, and then suddenly just zapping them down. Beautiful sleep really prevents Beast for Numbers, and this collapse onto him just clears it out, suddenly then clearing up Simon, and a beautiful flick from Pizza Lover, and this is more what we were requesting to see from the last game. This is incredible stuff.
Incredible, and the Wolfhounds already showing off. Weather, I mean, absolutely. Weather is a bit of a broad term, but I feel like Weather is raining down, bringing the thunder for the Wolfhounds. They're just pushing up to spawn. 20% remaining, they're pushing up to spawn. 3 ults, nay 4 on the bank, with the Pirates coming up onto 5, but Mootsie in some trouble. Beast for Numbers having to pop the ult just to stay alive. Suddenly just collapses on the DPS. The Sombra having to jump away to try and stay alive, and is gonna get taken out. Here goes the Riptire. Doesn't take out the Sombra. It must have been through that bubble, but no one is able to touch the point in the end, and so the Wolfhounds take it 100-0.
Incredible stuff, and very smart, because that's we have seen Wolfhounds do that before, where they will push up to the spawn, they will be that very kind of, it almost seems like over aggression, but we've seen their Pirates started taking the fight at the spawn, they lost track of the percentage, and then all of a sudden the round had kind of disappeared from out under them, and the Wolfhounds do that quite consistently. They really do understand exactly when they should kind of play the ults when they should commit them. And again, you will just be seeing, as much as like we praised both Weather and Pizza Lover there for their frags, you will always just see suddenly dropping onto someone and then getting the backup from one of those two, or even Sixy dropping in like a beautiful kunai from quite long distance. At no point really has there ever been a time where suddenly has not dove in on someone that's not immediately been reduced to 20% HP.
And that's great focus fire that you need for a comp like this. As Pizza Lover now in some trouble facing off against Simon. Gonna take down the concussion mine, but there's just nothing else you can do as you get Pizza Lover in there. But Weather is also just on this Cassidy, completely hitting shot upon shot.
And that's the thing. I mean, that's all you need if you've got someone like that. I mean, Pizza Lover immediately got quite a lot of the attention put on himself. He probably should have walked away, but was able to really kind of quite incredibly well dodge the shots from Simon there. And then it just kind of builds the time. It just kind of drains the time. It lowers it. And this aggression for suddenly to drop the bubble to play in it just that way, to sidestep the flashbang and cause Simon to absolutely melt with the back of Pizza Lover. This is what you're seeing from a team that know how to push, from a team that are so coordinated and so cohesive. They nearly get back cap, but they're not going to let that slide as, yeah, everyone gets zapped down. Weather gets the shots onto Lazy. Beast for Numbers falls, and last, but certainly not least,
there goes the Cassidy. Cannon goes down, and for Wolfhounds, they've been playing this to perfection, knowing exactly when they're able to wait on this point and when they have to jump back in. And it's perfect from suddenly getting so much collateral taken out, Moots. And now pushing in onto the Cassidy. Even the Magnate won't stop, stopping the Cassidy from getting into spawn. This is just deadly. Out of suddenly. Just perfection. And there goes the Deadeye. Takes out Lazy. Just beautiful art from the Wolfhounds.
I think that is the first time we've seen a red name on the left hand of the on the kill feed for potentially this entire round. It's been very few and far between. The Pirates just cannot find a foothold, and this is what, you know, like going back to just, I mean, look at that. You've already basically lost the Kiriko. Lazy has to just fall immediately. These spawns are so staggered, and suddenly he's just dancing in and out of this bubble. Cannon, it's a beautiful Deadeye actually to pick up Mini, and that's going to be critical to finally cause Suddenly to fall. You cannot kill the Winston with the Ana looking after him as well as that, but without that, absolutely, the Kitsune rush now. Pizza Lover backing up, trying to get all of these shots through. It's going to be tough, but yeah, we're not going to see it. I think finally Pirates have gathered a little bit of space, and it's looking likely they do get control of the point, and it's 99-4. The Riptire comes through.
They lose 60. There goes the Riptire. It needs to pick up one. Beast for Numbers gone, and it doesn't find the Cassidy, just barely on the edge is Cannon, but Pizza Lover finds it in the end. Simon, the only one left, going to take out Weather with the Riptire, but is Simon going to be able to get back in time? The answer is no. And it's 200-16 for the Wolfhounds. A dominant game. And what do you expect from the team that was topping their group in the group stage?
You expect basically close to perfection, and that's very close to what we get. Like, there we go. So we were talking about that. Look at these shots. Pizza Lover just refusing to miss. That's so much damage. That's so effective being picked up there, and there you go, suddenly immediately dropping in for like an angel of death, joining in his teammates. And yeah, incredibly decisive stuff. No team fight was going longer than it needed to there. They very much understanding exactly what you need to do to just keep the momentum all on your side. And yeah, Wolfhounds absolutely 1-0 as we move on to Hybrid.
Moving on to Hybrid, and for the Pirates, they're in a lot of trouble because it seems like anything you can do, Wolfhounds can do better. Weather just absolutely incredible on the Ashe, on the Cassidy. Any hit scan hero that they really picked up seemed dominant. Incredible Cassidy, dinks abound on the Ashe, just insane. And not to mention that if you start to play around the cover, if you start to, play with your nose to walls, you're going to get hit by the Junkrat grenades. You're going to start getting hit by the Junkrat grenades. And it's just a catch-22. It's a darned if you do, darned if you don't situation.
And that's what the Wolfhounds are very good at doing. The Wolfhounds are very much able to say that we are. And don't get me wrong, I mean, we've seen how cohesively and things they play, but, like, there is an aspect of them where, absolutely, please come take us in this 1v1, please come take me in this 2v1. Pizza Lover's able to do it a few times, get himself into positions that you would not expect anyone to be able to walk away from, much less live to tell the tale. But Pizza Lover does it, and he does it fairly consistently. Meanwhile, if you don't collapse onto Pizza Lover, as you said, you know, you're just going to fall into those concussive mines. You're going to just get the damage all racked up, and then someone like Suddenly or Weather is just going to come in and just drop you. And one thing that we haven't even seen yet, and I don't think we've seen it too often at all, is, and it may just be because the sniper comp is a bit less of the Wolfhound specialty, but you've got someone as strong on the hit scan as Weather. I don't think we've seen them on the Widow just yet.
Yeah, I think if we are gonna see it, we're gonna see it on these next two maps, on whatever we see for Hybrid and whatever we see for our Escort. And we do actually have our map selection. It's going to be the abandoned streets, the stone-strewed streets of Eichenwald.
Beautiful stuff. Not too surprising, to be honest. I mean, Eichenwald's been, you know, basically bread and butter in the game, you know, as close to it. There's only been one major change to the map, so a lot of teams are very comfortable with it, very confident in it, and no surprise for the Wolfhounds especially. I mean, if you're playing as tight and as cohesive as that, you've got to have understanding of these more legacy maps. They absolutely have understanding of the more modern maps. We've just seen that play off in action, but yeah, if you're the Pirates, you've got to find a foothold for that peg leg, and you gotta dig that in deep.
That you do, and that is, of course, their choice there, Eichenwald. And now we have to see if they can start to turn this around. It's going to be very difficult for them, especially considering how coordinated the Wolfhounds have been thus far. And on Eichenwald, on a map like this, where you have so much potential for a dive, for a poke, you're really going to see the coordination that you want, that the Wolfhounds have in spades. And I see what you're looking at. I see the purple sniper over on the Wolfhounds side. It's the Weather Widow.
That's interesting as well, particularly because I'm not sure as well how much, obviously, the Pirates have, or how much the Wolfhounds have studied in terms of about Simon on the... Simon on the Echo is going to have a really tough time getting this, unless Simon has an absolutely beautiful Echo, which, to be fair, I've not seen much of Simon's Echoes. There's every absolutely possibility. Please hush my mouth and do something incredibly beautiful, Simon. Just make my day with a beautiful display. But yeah, I mean, whether there's confidence, there's already in the air, doesn't actually take the shot. Decides to bail out there just at the last second, but now the Pirates are fully aware that the Wolfhounds has it, and if they peek their head at all out of position, they will get punished. Speaking of out of position,
yeah, it's going to be Pizza Lover caught out, and Simon going to take that opportunity, but Moot's gone. Pirates now even 44, and losing your Lucio, you don't want to have in any composition. It's a linchpin, but a great dive onto the Ana. 60 goes down, and the Pirates are now in pole position.
That was very sudden, and Eichenwald is, you know, very much traditionally and quite, you know, quite consistently known. That initial choke point can be very, very rough, but the initial push from Pizza Lover, just a bit of an overcommit, and then Simon, I mean, yeah, I asked to see something beautiful from the Echo, and that was an absolutely pivotal pick. You know, gets 5 minutes and 30, and that payload is already moving. That is quite uncommon to see, and particularly from how the Wolfhounds played map 1, I don't think it was expected by many people. Cannon as well, then immediately out-fragging Weather. Okay, it seems the Pirates are very much now on form.
Yeah, they're ready and raring. They're not ready to go down this easily, as now they're looking... They have 5 minutes on this time bank, and with the Wolfhounds really just diving this point, they could find Suddenly alone, but there's just so much pressure coming in from above that Suddenly's going to find Cannon, traded out for Pizza Lover. It's an even 44, but advantage, of course, onto the Pirates. They've got that spawn advantage. Oh, the D.Va in some trouble. Beast for numbers, barely alive. Moots can say the same, as Suddenly just playing so aggressive, gonna drop the shield generator right there.
And this is the thing, like, we already seen this for anyone that missed, obviously, the last series. That was the Puffins versus the Ponies. And the Puffins had a very similar kind of playstyle where even if, you know, the Ponies had the payload, the Puffins would be taking basically every fight on it. They would be making sure that the payload does not get any distance for free. And now, and we're seeing that basically replicated by the Wolfhounds. The double Kitsune rush matching up. The trap is absolutely beautiful. Beast for Numbers should get melted down. Suddenly brings down Cannon as well. The Diva Bomb. Gonna be enough actually to keep Beast for Numbers back in this, and suddenly with the Primal Rage, they're not going to get caught out just yet, but getting focused fired quite substantially, it has to be said. 600, 500 HP, but that shot from Weather should be enough to keep Suddenly in this.
Deadeye is going to take out 60, so Suddenly in a bit more trouble. Anti-nade perfect on the Beast for Numbers, and that's going to be the Wolfhounds holding strong, already pulling a minute and a half from the time bank.
Just the confidence, just the ability to play. I mean, like, Pirates we do now see Cannon swapped with the Pharah. Very smart. The changes to Pharah and such do make her an even harder target to hit in the air with the kind of the sideways jets. It's kind of similar to how Hanzo has that kind of side jump in the air, but we'll have to see how this works. The Riptire's going to come through. Beast for Numbers, great awareness to know where Pizza Lover behind, but can't get the pick, unfortunately. It's just too much of a backup for Wolfhounds, and this payload still has not moved an inch since we last seen it.
No, and it's a tough hold to break, especially with Weather taking out Simon like that. The Pirates still might be in trouble as Pizza Lover gonna get taken down. Again, the even 44 going to advantage the Pirates, but to what extent? As this Diva just cannot defense Matrix the Winston Tesla cannon. She's just gonna start struggling. Beast for Numbers still trying to put in the damage, looking to dive in. There goes the dive nano onto Suddenly to really pump in the damage for the Wolfhounds. Mini Mythical goes down. The Wolfhounds in trouble. But DMAC, Weather goes down. The Wolfhounds might finally have lost their foothold, but they're coming back, roaring back with Suddenly still alive. Payload is still moving out. Suddenly does have this Primal Rage, going to pop it against just the Baby Diva. Nearly takes out the Baby Diva before she can remech, jumping in the air to try and land on the Echo, and you ain't sure for a bestie, but still the follow through does come through. Moots goes down, and Suddenly just elite for the Wolfhounds. Great face tanking onto the Diva bomb going through. Great chase. The Wolfhounds still hold on. What a play from Suddenly.
Yeah, I mean, that was really beautiful stuff to have that presence of mind there, because to be honest, I mean, you know, seeing the Baby Diva, you might think, oh, don't let the Baby Diva remake, but that's not the thing that's important there. It's taking out Lazy, it's taking out those kunais and those healing papers, and that's exactly what was done. So very smart prioritization there from Suddenly, but finally, it looks like a little gap has been found. That's two major players down in the form of Suddenly and Sixy. There's no ultimates really, even Pizza Lover falls there, and this is probably since the first point where they kind of just tore through the archway, probably the first point for the Pirates that they can convincingly say they have taken a team fight with basically no fatalities. Incredibly well played from them.
Incredibly well played. They've still got one more fight if they want to push through the door. Many a push has ended right here. So have to see if the Blade can separate them. Cannon with the Blade throwing it through. Doesn't find anything, but Mini Mythical and Pizza Lover are both going to go down. It's an even 3v3 on the point. Ooh, Lazy in trouble, and Sixy's going to find the kill confirm in the end. Wolfhounds can't go down easily.
No, and there we go. We have the D-Mech come through. I'd imagine Beast for Numbers. Yeah, getting staggered out there. That's absolutely brutal. There's only 20 seconds left. You really want your Diva back. The remake is there, tries to use it, but no, not going to be enough, unfortunately. As Simon nearly falls down with it. You cannot afford to lose anyone at this point. 10 seconds remaining. You're likely going to have a touch from either Mootsie or Cannon, and the sound barrier is online as well, so there's going to be a decent fight here. It's going to have to see what the Pirates can do with it.
Echo copy onto the Moira, the beat thrown out. Suddenly falls off the map. Booped off by Moots. And Beast for Numbers is going to land a double. Riptire lands onto one. It's going to be close. It's going to be scrappy. Simon not able to get up to the Coalescence, but Mini Mythical goes down. And the Tracer gonna blink onto the point, but quickly dispatched, and no one can land. The rollout from Suddenly doesn't land, not through the window. It's a Pirates with a new life.
Mootsy digging deep for that treasure, but if you are the Pirates, that is absolute gold to just drop Suddenly off a cliff in that regard. We've even seen a little bit of the mouse shaking happening from Suddenly. We've seen that definitely hit him a little bit, which is something you want to see. You don't want to have too much confidence. You want to, you know, make sure that there is a little bit of respect being put to the name as the Kitsune rushes now coming through. The Diva Bomb as well. We're going to be likely seeing it from Beast for Numbers, but no, the Mega is going to get trapped. She pops it just to get out, and actually will be enough, but Pizza Lover falling 2 more, and Beast for Numbers actually doesn't even get out. Beautiful tracking from Weather there. That was incredibly confident shooting. All of a sudden, 40 seconds left. Quite a bit of utility used by the Pirates. Quite a bit used by the Wolfhounds as well, but Coalescence online, the Pulse Bomb, and the Meteor Strike likely going to come through for what I imagine is going to be our last fight.
Ooh, this is aggressive out of the Pirates, trying to get this early fight win. Simon gonna go down, and it's the Wolfhounds coming out on top. Great stuff out of the Wolfhounds, keeping this shut. And they still maintain 2 ults to match the Pirates.
Yeah, that was incredible stuff. It likely will make... Oh my days, we're seeing Suddenly kind of drop off. It's going to be one more fight. There is going to be an overload, but a Beast for Numbers trapped. Are they going to get collapsed upon? No, it's Simon actually that picks up Pizza Lover. The Kitsune rush coming through. This is massive. Simon picking up another one on that. These blow for blows are so important. But it looks like as the Pirates going to be walking away with it, but they are now on that persistent overtime. If they fall off this point for any reason, they will be losing it. And Simon does fall to Weather, but this payload is still going to be moving at the very least.
Cannon's going to try and chase down Weather. I don't know if that's a smart move, but they are going to get that end pick. Now looking for Mini Mythical. There goes the Riptire. Could be deadly on the point. Finds Moots, but still Beast for Numbers. Holding strong as a Bastion on the point. Beast for Numbers throwing out these strikes, but can't find gold. And is going to get taken down. A devastatingly good overtime push out of Pirates, but they will not finish the point. So a golden box of victory stands for the Wolfhounds.
That's heartbreaking if your Mood's getting just picked off the way he did. I mean, that sound barrier was there. That was probably going to be your ticket to the victory of that team fight, to get that bit more distance, potentially get it all the way to that third and final point just to tap it. But sadly for them, they will be shut down at the second point. Very, very impressive stuff. Very incredible initial push from them. Very incredible then counter hold from the Wolfhounds before finally being broken through. So very, very well played from both teams, and we're going to see now how the Pirates defense stacks up against the Wolfhounds on their offense.
That we are the Pirates. They do have a golden opportunity. 50.9 meters doesn't sound like a lot, but the fact that they were able to push through point A and push through point B is nothing to scoff at. We've all seen many A push ended right there as, whoa. Okay, interesting hiding spot from Cannon.
I like that. I like and this is the thing what we said again with Farah kind of now showing up quite a lot. In theory, we're going to have to see Cannon play very far back. I mean, the Rockets don't, lose damage over range or anything, so you're going to, if Cannon playing this very distant behavior is very intelligently done. There is no kind of full kind of hit scan sniper. Weather's running the Soldier at the moment. The closest you've got to the kind of sudden burst damage would actually be 60, which is possible. Suddenly and Co do seem to have a call out on where Cannon's going, and Pizza Lover's just gonna, snipe Cannon out of that hiding spot, I guess. They were fully prepared for that.
Fully prepared for it, indeed. You don't often see the Junkrat land of the Farah pick, or the pick on the Kiriko as well. Pizza Lover just rushing through the members of the Pirates. And the Wolfhounds, I guess they've got somewhere to be, because they are not taking their time.
I mean, the Pirates did a hell of an impressive push, and the Wolfhounds see that, and they raise and they will raise you. That's 5 minutes 40 in the time bank. Very, very impressive stuff from both teams. Will we see a similar hold now from the Pirates that the Wolfhounds were able to complete, or are the Wolfhounds just going to be able to steamroll with this momentum? They've got a very, very tanky composition in the form of the Moira Kiriko, not exactly the biggest healers in the world, but if you've got someone like Suddenly, I was going to say who can play around the bubble, but Suddenly unfortunately could not in that respect and does fall down. Other than that, the Wolfhounds quite tanky, quite self-sufficient with that Soldier 76, the only person with no heals being Pizza Lover, of course.
Yeah, but Pizza Lover already finding that early pick onto the Ash of Cannon. Nearly taking out Simon, but suddenly he's going to get that honor. Now finding the D.Va on her escape route. Gonna get the D-Mech as, yeah, Beast for Numbers is going to get burst down by the Soldier 76. The dive in onto Lazy as well, as Pizza Lover and the rest of the Wolfhounds have found even more pirates to kill. As there you go. They are not messing around, Wolfhounds.
No, they are not. Mutsi and Cannon fall in there. That's quite substantial. Mutsi doesn't get near enough for it. They're going to have to try and get this the sound barrier charged up just before this fight begins. But this positioning here look very cheeky. There is someone just hiding up in the corner there. That's Pizza Lover, I think, ready with the Rip Tire. It's going to get burnt out now. Simon actually just melts down Pizza Lover, but the Tire, I think actually the Tire fully prevented in that case. Very incredibly played, but suddenly just keeping the body blocking going, not even needing to pop the Primal Rage as Mutsi's going to fall in the background, and now it's all up to Simon on this Echo.
D.Va Bomb not going to do anything for onto Suddenly, as Simon going to get taken out by the Coalescence, and there goes Lazy, barely alive, taken out by Mini Mythical. And this Moira has really done good to finish off these low target heroes, not letting them get away at all. Kitsune Rush and Tactical Visor thrown out, and that's just going to be a semi-automatic machine gun that can't miss a shot out of weather. Triple kill, and so much time, 5 minutes on the bank for the Wolfhounds.
The Pirates, they're committing some ultimates as well. I mean, it's quite, you know, desperate times, desperate measures and all that, so definitely completely understandable why, but they're not working with very much. They are pushed back to this corner. Weather's with that pick on the Mutsi as well, you're losing quite a pivotal amount of your heals. The sound barrier as well is going to take longer to get charged up. That's an excellent trade onto the Junkrat. Will immediately be remet though, and now as we cut over to basically in the background, Beast for Numbers and Weather. Beast for Numbers good for it, but here we go. This is now what happens. The stall happening, trying to be kept alive, might be able to get the remake, but it's going to be close. No, we're just seeing it happen. Yeah, there we go. Suddenly brings down Lazy and Beast.
Yeah, gonna jump back in, has the Moira heals as well to keep them alive, but it's just not gonna be enough. Not with a Simon Bastion just pumping out the deeps. Pizza Lover says, I'm getting cooked. And that's what you do to pizza, bestie. You throw it, you cook it.
You throw it in the oven and you cook that to a golden brown crisp. And this looks to be pretty well cooked. This looks to be pretty golden brown if you're the side of Wolfhounds. Just a couple meters to go. Not too many ultimates online, but they are starting to come online. That's an excellent start if you're the Wolfhounds. The team
there goes the D.Va
Bomb's going to be huge.
No, nothing picked up. Nothing in the kill feed. Suddenly, and Pizza Lover also picking up. Pizza Lover close to this Rip Tower could clear out a great pick onto 60, but they're going to need so much more Rip Tower out from Cannon and Pizza Lover as well. Both Rip Towers in, and it's only Pizza Lover that's gonna find purchase, and it's only the Wolfhounds going to find victory. 2-0 now over the Pirates. The Pirates in elimination point now. They have a lot to work to.
They do indeed have a lot to do. They've got the escort map to go, and then if they manage to do that, they've got push, and then if they've got that, they've got escalation. So they've got quite a lot to be doing. Very solid stuff for Simon though to kind of mimic that Doomfist from Suddenly. That was quite a lot of work being completed, but sadly just not enough to be able to see them home. And yeah, what seemed to be a really dominant push from the Pirates, don't get me wrong, it still was, but then it was met equally by a dominant push from the Wolfhounds. And yeah, with that, 2-0, pretty commandingly, pretty speedily. We've got one more map left. Can the Pirates find anything?
Well, that's the question. The Pirates are going to need something big to turn it around. They're going to need the individual performances to really step up because they've just had some star-studded DPS, some star-studded tanks, some star-studded supports even take great advantage of their team. They're going to need to have a sip of Michael Jordan's secret stuff or something around that level if they want to have a comeback here. One more map is all that stands between them and elimination. And on the other end, if you're the Wolfhounds, only one map separates you and the finals and facing off against the Puffins to try and win the Welsh Esports League. And that's the thing. When you talk about the artists stepping down, we haven't had a chance to talk about that, or at least I haven't had a chance to talk about that, is that whenever I went on the Welsh Esports League, whenever I recasted the Welsh Esports League, it was always a bit of a foregone conclusion, so it seemed. The artist hadn't dropped a match. They were undefeatable at the top of their game. But now, the kings in the north are gone. Who's going to step up to the throne? And that's the question. Because right now, it's the Wolfhounds and the Pirates fighting for a chance to take a swing at the Puffins. Because the Puffins showed how good they can be today, taking out the pit Ponies. But there is still so much Overwatch to be played. For the Wolfhounds, one game is going to get you a convincing win. The Wolfhounds and the Puffins have not played yet. But when they do, or if they do, the Pirates can always still turn this around. It could be for the first non-artists Welsh Esports League champion, period. Which is an incredible fight to win. You're not just fighting for second place anymore, you're fighting for the crown of the WEL. To get it, you just gotta take one more map.
To get that all to play for. I mean, yeah, very beautifully summarized, very beautifully kind of pointed out. Incredible stuff. No notes at all, as everyone has been covered there. But yeah, the artists, I mean, yeah, just kind of tap that off and kind of finish that statement off. You know, the artists kind of given way to what a beautiful scene we have seen, and we have seen all the teams step up. And I really want to just take this moment right now before we get into what is potentially the last match. Every team here has had a hell of a showing. Every team is doing phenomenally right now. Both Wolfhounds and the Pirates as well, actually, to my knowledge, neither are playing with their captains. They are both playing in with their subs as well. That's something to be kind of pointed out. Usually whenever you lose your captain, I mean, the whole point of the captain is that's your anchor point, that's your cohesion, that's where everyone kind of attaches to. They listen to the captain, they believe in the comms, they believe in the strat. So both teams not playing without their captains, you usually see maybe a bit more of a kind of flaw, or a bit of a gap in one team at the very least. You would suddenly see, okay, there's not as much confidence, there's not as much cohesion. You know, that's why the captain is so important, why they are, you know, that focal point. But both teams captainless, and they seem to be doing just fine. That is no disrespect to the captains, of course. So now jumping in, it is Route 66 for what is possibly the final match of the semi-finals before we get into the grand finals next week. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go.
Wolfhounds rolling out on pretty much that same composition they always had, with a Winston, with the Junkrat, with the Widowmaker, and with the Kiriko on a support line. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Interested to see more Weather Widow. For the Pirates, we're waiting for them to make a choice, to make that decision. And they really have to bring something new and exciting. And I have to say, throw away the meta, boys. Throw away the meta. Just play what you're good at. It's going to be them keeping on the Diva Moots. Still not picking a support hero just yet. Only choosing Lucio at the last moment.
Oh, and there we go. Are we really surprised? I was actually thinking maybe we would see the double sniper come through the Pirates, which would be quite a confident pick, and I would have quite a bit of faith into that. But we do see instead Simon dropping off of the Echo and jumping onto the Sombra instead. Route 66, I mean, it's another bread and butter map. So many teams so confident with how this map is played. Been changed very little, and if you're beast for numbers here, you see Weather on that Widow, you understand your dive target almost immediately, but you don't have too much to back you up, unfortunately. You know, Cannon's basically having to just trade out onto Weather, or you can maybe hope that Simon backs you up, and Cannon, to be fair, does one, Weather immediately backing it up though.
Yeah, it's immediate 4v4, and Moot's in a bit of trouble escaping out with those roller skates. Beast for numbers, using that defense matrix, sees Weather in a vulnerable position. Simon combining up, but suddenly finding some picks. Lazy in a whole bucket load of trouble, gonna get taken down. Not enough peel out from Beast for numbers, gonna get demeched on their own. The Sombra from Simon has been very effective. They haven't been able to find enough to offset to get those victories.
Oh, it was close. Oh, it was very close, actually. Those shots, those shots were quite true, but Cannon will fall down. Incredibly heartbreaking stuff. Incredibly well noticed from Beast 4 there, and incredibly well played from Simon as well. Both dropping onto Weather super cohesively, super tightly. Just unfortunate that they couldn't then get the space to kind of make those frags work, to get to kind of take that control. And now we're seeing suddenly just creating a hassle in the back line, which, we're so used to seeing. We're so used to seeing. But to be fair, the Pirates are spread out pretty consistently. They're spread out pretty well. Lazy still though will go down, and suddenly back to full health on the cart again.
Back to full health on the cart. Kitsune Rush thrown out onto the Wolfhounds, and there goes just the damage the Kitsune Rush Winston can put out. Just taking out the Baby Diva immediately, and just ready to throw out the damage hand over fist for the Wolfhounds. And just going in so aggressive, trying to chase down Cannon, and just still putting down the damage, taking out Lazy as well. The staggers on the Pirates are brutal.
Simon falls as well. It's already a minute 33.
No.
Like, there's already been 2.5 minutes past. The ults are really starting to come online for the Pirates, but how can you even really walk out of sight? You're going to... Well, okay, if Pizza Lover just kills himself, I guess that's a good start. Suddenly not really getting the memo that he needs to get out. Oh, barely bailed out, but there's quite a lot of damage. The Nano's so smart.
Gonna use the Primal Rage as well. It's the beat drawn out by the Nano Primal Rage combo. Weather gonna go down from a shot by Cannon. Now Beast for numbers and the Pirates finally have their opening. Are they going to be able to take advantage is the question. As suddenly takes out Lazy. Mike Junkrat says 6C, and yeah, I mean, Pizza Lover did just fall off the map.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a clip about that, or maybe there will be an attempt to scrub all evidence of that happening off the face of the internet, which, as we know, can never be done. And I'm sorry, Pizza Lover, you are going to have to re-experience that. But a lot of distance now covered with the Pirates. A beautiful EMP, a beautiful collapse. Pizza Lover, though, the shots are very true to find Simon.
Simon immediately taken down. Beast for numbers just burst down. Pizza Lover, man, absolutely feasting. Not just on the golden pepperoni and cheese of a pizza, but on the entirety of the Pirates.
I mean, these shots have just been true, and again, suddenly with the confidence. This is what, again, like, if you've kept 9-1 suddenly does, there's 5 seconds left as well. There's basically nothing. The Riptire is going to basically seal the deal, make sure no one tries to touch it. Oh, Simon survives with 1 HP and does put us into overtime. I can't imagine it will keep us going for very long, but it's at least something.
Now it's just the Winston on the payload as OT starts to tick down. It's just Sombra having to stay alive, and a great chase by Suddenly clears the Sombra from the field. Beast for numbers now using the Primal Rage, just going to get focused down. Suddenly doesn't even have to move at this point, just holding down LMB and going for the win. 70.75 meters is all that separates the Wolfhounds from ticket to the finals and a chance to take out the Puffins and win the Welsh Esports League.
Very, very nicely done from them. Yeah, just it's really difficult from the Pirates. There were chances, there were opportunities, there were moments and glimpses of control, of beautiful punishes, of beautiful commits, beautiful executes, but every time it just seems the Wolfhounds were able to come right back. I think probably the pivotal point was, I mean, the Pirates were pushing, they basically got the team kill, none of the Wolfhounds came through. Simon jumps in, it's an EMP that you would think would completely cripple the Wolfhounds in terms of taking that, in terms of the retake, but no, the Wolfhounds immediately find their space, immediately find the frag through Pizza Lover finding that onto Simon, and because of that, they were able to immediately recontrol that space. this. So, yeah, not too much distance for the Pirates. They've got to just hold on tooth, nail, and anything in between.
That they do, and for the Pirates, it looks like they're bringing out a Sigma composition. They're going to hold on to this high ground. They're not going to let go. No, sir. Pirates really looking to keep this backline safe as well with the Brig Bap backline. The Brig really going to work on long-range heals with Simon, whereas also keeping Lazy safe on this Baptiste. They can't have anyone pushing in. The Wolfhounds, though, they're going to be bunkering in on the payload. They're going to be playing this Reinhardt composition, and they're really going to be playing together. And they're going to have some high burst damage potential with that Weather on the Widow and with the Optimus Prime Reinhardt.
Oh, yeah. Set sail onto the seas. The pirate ship has landed, and we're immediately seeing the effectiveness of that. The Sigma shield from Beast for Numbers not really going to be a factor too much there. You know, Beast 4 is going to have to play that incredibly intelligently, which, to be fair, has done. The payload immediately gets to the corner, and then the space has to be given up. The shields recharge. This is it. This is the push through. Beast just inhaling all of those bullets to get quite a bit of the shield. The charge comes through. The space is being created. Weather gets a beautiful pick on the Lazy. Beast for Numbers falls, and that may already be us.
That may already be it. Weather with the headshot. It's just Simon in the air. Weather's going to get taken down. It's Cannon and Simon. But Simon goes down. Just Cannon is the only one that could potentially even stop it. But no one can stop it. They may be called the Wolfhounds, but they're acting like the Greyhounds the way they are cruising on to the finals, taking on the Puffins next week to win the Welsh Esports League and to crown a new, for once, a new champion.
The GG's coming through. Very well played from both sides. Just, yeah, I mean, the bunker comp is something that can be very difficult to adapt to, particularly if you're running like the Sigmas and things like that. It's very difficult, and we did see just the level of confidence from Suddenly there. I mean, that Reinhardt push there, you have to jump out of the way. You have to split up to try and avoid that. You can't let yourself get barreled down, but that's exactly what they were counting on. That was exactly the split that they needed, and then we just seen in the back, well, they were definitely placed under the weather, and that was the joke that we had, because yeah, those shots to open us up, I know, were very good.
I mean, and they were incredibly good out of weather. The entirety of this Wolfhounds team was really clicking, especially without their captain today. Very, very good play from the Wolfhounds, and just absolutely taking down Pirates. Pirates now are eliminated from grand finals contention. But for the Welsh Esports League, we've got one game left. Next week, we are all done this week, of course. We've got the grand finals, and it's going to be between the two teams we saw today take the victories. It's going to be between the Puffins and the Wolfhounds, and I'm so excited to see that. And if you're excited to see it like me, you better make sure that you're hitting that follow button and hitting that bell so you don't miss a moment of Welsh Esports League action. It's going to be in 1 week from today. Same time, same place, same channel. But that's going to be it for us today. Thank you, Maddante, for jumping on and enjoying the time with me.
KWing, thank you very much as well. It has been a pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, to everyone at home, thank you so much for watching. Please do join us next week, because it's going to be a hell of a showdown. I'm sure you won't want to miss it. And yeah, just stay tuned, because this is an exciting time, as KWing so excellently put it. So thank you very much from me. Thank you very much to the production, as always. They're always a gem, and they're always such a treat to work with. Excellent work. And yeah, don't go anywhere. We'll be seeing you very shortly for the grand finale.
Well, in a week.